Hello friends, welcome back to Book Lifestyle. Today, we are going to dive deep into a brilliant book by Darius Foro called Focus on What Matters. Every morning, as the first rays of the sun hit us and we wake up, a million things start racing through our minds. Today's endless to-do list, people's expectations, what to post on social media, who to text back, office stress, family worries. All of this builds up a heavy mental pressure that can ruin our entire day before it even begins. But if we can just understand one single concept, our lives can become incredibly simple. And that concept is the dichotomy of control. In simple terms, it means recognizing what is within our control and what is not. Stoic philosophy, an ancient way of thinking, teaches us that true peace and happiness are only possible when we focus entirely on what we can control and learn to let go of everything else. To explain this, Darius Foro opens his book with a thought that is highly modern and relatable to everyone today. Imagine you post a photo on social media. You naturally expect people to like it and leave nice comments. But what happens if someone leaves a negative comment? Or worse, everyone just ignores it. How do you feel? Sad? Angry? Demotivated? But pause for a moment and think, is other people's reaction within your control? Not at all. The only things under your control were what photo you posted, the intention behind it, and what you personally think of it. Everything else, people's thoughts, their time, their moods, is completely external. And the moment we anchor our peace to these external things, we literally hand over the keys to our happiness to someone else. Foro explains that if we want true inner peace, we must learn to focus purely on our actions, not their results. For instance, if you are preparing for a job interview, your entire focus should be on preparing well and putting in your honest effort. Whether you get the job or not is simply not up to you. The company's specific needs, the talent of other candidates, the mood of the interviewer, these are all uncontrollable factors. We constantly torment ourselves because we try to control things that were never in our hands to begin with. Someone didn't reply to your text, someone ignored you, you missed a promotion, it started raining, you got stuck in traffic. We let these things make us unnecessarily upset. But if we think like a Stoic, we realize that our precious energy should only be spent on things we can actually change. This philosophy doesn't just apply to massive life decisions. It works wonders in small daily situations. For example, if someone cuts you off mid-sentence, fails to appreciate your hard work, or treats you unfairly, you can only control one thing, your reaction. Whether you choose to get angry or handle it calmly is entirely up to you. Foro notes that we face these two types of situations every day. If we build a habit of immediately identifying which category a situation belongs to, both our reaction and our mindset will vastly improve. Think about it. You are heading to an event and it suddenly starts pouring. You can either get upset and complain, or you can simply pull out your umbrella and enjoy the weather. This simple example shows how our perspective entirely shapes our experience. Foro believes that our mindset is the lens through which we view the world, and the dichotomy of control gives us a perfectly clear lens. We often trick ourselves into thinking we can change other people. But the harsh truth is, changing anyone else is completely outside of your control. What you can do is set healthy boundaries, keep your expectations clear, and train yourself to behave in a way that commands respect. When you change yourself, external situations indirectly start shifting in your favor as well. Another fascinating thing happens when you focus solely on your controllable actions. You develop a completely different level of confidence. Why? Because you stop viewing outcomes as failures and start seeing them purely as learning opportunities. Foro shares that when he truly internalized this concept, he realized how foolish it was to fear things like rejection, criticism, or uncertainty. Since they weren't in his control anyway, fearing them made absolutely no sense. Career uncertainty is something almost everyone faces today. People lose jobs, feel underpaid, or struggle to find a purpose in their work. But if we view this uncertainty as something outside our control, we can learn to accept it. Then, we can redirect our energy toward what is in our control, like learning new skills, networking, and proving our value in the projects we handle right now. When we sit down and reflect deeply on life, we realize that most of our troubles don't come from the outside world, they come from within us. We overthink, we harbor fears, we desperately try to prove ourselves, we crave validation, and yet, we are rarely happy with who we are. The antidote to these chaotic thoughts is to simply slow down and talk to our own minds. And that is exactly what the short chapters of this book help us do. Each chapter is just 2 to 4 pages long, but the wisdom packed inside hits you straight in the heart. Every chapter tackles a specific theme like fear, overthinking, comparison, chasing validation, or the art of letting go. Because these are short, bite-sized reflections, they are easy to read and hold profound meaning. It honestly feels like an honest friend, writing a letter directly to you, or like reading your own deepest thoughts on paper. Every chapter raises a question, and gently guides you to find the answer right inside yourself. Take the section on overthinking, for example. It is incredibly relatable because we all get stuck in mental loops. Someone said something mean, a situation didn't go as planned, or we feel anxious about the future. This book teaches us that continuous thinking never brings a solution. It only creates more confusion. When we get trapped in overthinking, we disconnect from the present moment. The book grounds us with a simple reminder. Breathe, pause, and trust that what is meant to happen will happen. Not everything needs to be endlessly analyzed. There is also a powerful lesson about validation. We all seek approval in some form, whether it's likes on social media or compliments in real life. We dangerously begin to measure our self-worth through other people's reactions. But this book serves as a gentle reminder that your value is already inherent. You don't need to prove it to anyone. When we try to be perfect in the eyes of others, we distance ourselves from who we really are. But when we connect with ourselves, the need for outside validation slowly fades away. The most beautiful aspect of these lessons is how simply they are written. It never feels like you are wading through heavy academic philosophy. Instead, it feels like an honest conversation with a friend who is gently leading you closer to the truth. There is an unmistakable honesty and softness in every line, which is why it connects so deeply. After reading each section, you feel compelled to pause, think, and fully absorb the thought. The beauty of this format is that it is highly repeatable. If you read a chapter today and return to it a week later, its meaning feels even deeper because you are approaching it with a fresh set of feelings. Just like in meditation, where you observe the exact same breath every day, but the experience is always unique. Rereading these concepts brings alive new meanings. It unlocks buried feelings, old memories, and brings sudden clarity, helping you understand yourself just a little bit better. Some parts of the book are raw, touching upon topics like grief or loneliness, but this pain is shared in an incredibly authentic way. It doesn't throw empty toxic positivity at you like, just be strong or think positive. Instead, it allows you to accept your emotions, sit with them, and slowly move toward healing. There are no rigid rules on how to read this book. You can pick any page depending on how you feel that day. This freedom is deeply soothing, reminding us that growth and healing are never linear. Sometimes, we have to step back to find the strength to move forward. In today's world, there is one constant force pulling at us from all directions: distraction. Notifications are buzzing constantly. Something new is flashing every second, and our minds just cannot stay still. We sit down to work, and within minutes, we unconsciously pick up our phone, scroll through a feed, and completely forget what we originally set out to do. This is the digital noise that Darius Foro warns us about. According to him, this noise isn't just harmless background sound. It is quietly consuming our clarity, our focus, and ultimately, our lives. Foro firmly states that our attention is our most valuable asset. This is not an overstatement, because everything we achieve in life, whether it's learning a skill, nurturing relationships, hitting career goals, or personal growth, depends entirely on where we place our attention. But when our focus is fractured, and we switch tabs every 2 minutes, we fail to connect deeply with anything. This constant distraction doesn't just steal our time. It silently kills our inner peace, creativity, and satisfaction. Foro suggests that we must consciously guard our attention the same way we guard our money. He reminds us that in the modern economy, attention is the ultimate currency, and big platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter are in a ruthless war to claim yours. Because the true cost of digital distraction is subtle, we don't feel it immediately. But when the day ends and we look back, we are left with nothing but half-done work, scattered thoughts, and a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. He reveals a powerful truth. The root of distraction isn't boredom, it's discomfort. We run toward distractions to escape uncomfortable emotions. The moment a task feels slightly boring, or we feel anxious, or a conversation gets emotionally challenging, we instantly reach for our phones. That temporary escape feels comforting in the moment, but in the long run, it cripples our mental stamina. Foro reminds us that real inspiration comes from silence. Only when the mind is quiet can it truly observe, imagine, and create. How many times have we lied awake at night thinking, I wish I had done that. I wish I took that choice seriously. Or, I wish I had spoken my mind. These what-ifs are the seeds of true regret. Darius Foro explains this emotion with beautiful simplicity. According to him, regret doesn't just happen because we made a mistake. It happens when our actions don't align with our core values. When we do things that contradict our inner truth, regret slowly builds up inside us. Foro notes that the way to avoid regret isn't to become a flawless, perfect human being. Instead, it is about constantly asking yourself one simple question. Am I doing what actually matters to me? This question acts like an internal compass. Far too often, we live our lives on autopilot, same routine, same job, same complaints, without ever questioning it. Regret is not just an empty pang of sadness from the past, it is feedback. It's a mirror, showing exactly where you compromised your own truth. Many people think the best way to avoid regret is to never take risks, but Foru strongly disagrees. He believes the heaviest regrets come from the things we never tried. Fearing to chase a dream, refusing to show vulnerability in a relationship, or suppressing your natural talents, these become silent, lifelong regrets. That's why he says, live boldly but wisely. Listen to your heart, but use your head. When faced with two paths, an easy one with no purpose, and a difficult one filled with meaning, always choose the second one. That is where a regret-free life begins. Fear. It's a word that instantly makes our hearts shrink a little. Everyone is afraid of something. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being alone, or fear of change. But Darius Foru asks us to look at fear through a completely different lens. He suggests that fear is not our enemy. It is a guide. It is a biological signal pointing exactly to where we need to apply our courage. Instead of running away from fear, Foru says we should ask, what opportunity is hiding behind this fear? Think about it. Fear only shows up where something meaningful is at stake, where there is genuine potential for growth. Fear tells you exactly when you are about to step out of your comfort zone. And stepping out of your comfort zone is the literal definition of courage. Stoicism doesn't teach us to be entirely fearless. It teaches us to feel the fear and do the right thing anyway. The most honest and effective technique to conquer fear is taking immediate action. Fear paralyzes, but action frees. This is the absolute core of Foru's philosophy. He explains that the longer we delay, the stronger our fear grows. But the moment we take even a single tiny step, the grip of fear begins to loosen. Taking these small steps consistently doesn't make us fearless, it makes us courageous. Being fearless means having no fear, but being courageous means moving forward in spite of it. Ultimately, the wisdom of Stoic philosophy and Darius Foru's powerful insights provide us with a vital mindset for today's chaotic world. The peace we desperately search for on the outside can only be found within us, and the path to it lies in mastering the art of control. Every single day, when you face a difficult situation, pause and ask yourself this simple question. Is this in my control? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, let it go. So friends, that was our summary for today. How did you like it? Let us know in the comments below. If you appreciated our effort and want to see more life-changing book summaries, make sure to subscribe to Book Lifestyle, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends. See you in the next video with another incredible book. Until then, just breathe and keep learning.